3, 2, 1. You're live, Cindy.
Okay. Well, good evening, everyone. I want to welcome you to our evening session that we have just fortunately been able to add. I'm delighted to introduce you to Andre Oshea. He is a digital artist that has commissioned or actually designed an NFT digital art piece for the foundation, actually benefiting the foundation. So I thought we would have a conversation with Andre tonight about, well, the first question is, what is an NFT? Because we actually didn't know what that was until we met him. And then talk a little bit about, what the funds will actually be used for, because we actually have that in mind for something very specific. And then, go into a little bit more about, some of Andre's passions. So I guess I want to start first with Andre, just if you could tell us a little bit about your background and how you got into this space. We'll start there. Why don't we start there?
Awesome. So my name is Andre Oshea. I am originally from Minneapolis. I've sort of bounced around the country a few times since graduating high school. I lived in Colorado, Delaware, Philadelphia, and now I'm located right outside of Atlanta. I've been here for 5 going on 6 years now. I recently bought my first house in December. And I'm a 3D animator. I've been a full-time 3D animator since moving to Atlanta. I was introduced to the NFT space probably a while ago, but I just now started fully getting into it probably about 3 months ago. I was just introduced by my peers, basically because a lot of the art in the NFT space kind of mirrors and mimics the art that I make. So people thought there was a natural synergy there, and luckily there has been. And just some background on what an NFT is. It stands for non-fungible token. And it is a new technology that people are using. The way that the technology is being introduced to mass culture is through art and art collecting. And specifically why it benefits digital artists is because it allows us to authenticate our work by uploading it to the blockchain. When you upload it to the blockchain, it comes with a certain set of information that it passes along, and that information proves the validity of where the work came from. And if it came from you as an artist, that is basically authenticating it's certifying its authenticity the same way that a physical painting may be certified. And we're just in the very beginnings of this technology, but it's going to go a lot more places than just art.
So tell us, I know that you're involved in, in addition to the digital art space and NFTs, I know that you're also working specifically to promote the Black artist. I don't know if it's considered a genre or a movement. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I work closely with Black NFT art. They're an organization that's really just trying to amplify the voice of Black artists. My management team is actually the founders of Black NFT art. And like I said, their goal, their passion, their drive is all about just amplifying our voices, not not highlighting one in particular or not any type in particular, just trying to be of aid and help to Black creatives.
So how do you think, you and I have had a couple of conversations now. How do you think that might translate into assisting with the issue that we have going on with colorectal cancer, and how how much more aggressively it's affecting the Black community, especially young Black men, as we saw with Chadwick Boseman. You know, we'll get into the specific piece in a minute, but do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually think there's a natural synergy between our two causes. I think that NFTs are allowing artists and creatives to amplify voices themselves and amplify their voices. And a lot of people have been using these opportunities, whether it be with heightened press notoriety or, you know, a higher earning potential. They've been using these as opportunities to uplift and highlight areas in our culture or in our communities that need to be addressed. And, you know, colon cancer is one of them. You just said it, like the Black community is being hit by this kind of unproportionately hard. And I just think that, you know, given the opportunities that we have with NFTs, there's a natural synergy to also help promote better health in our communities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's one of the things that we talked about you know, on our Clubhouse discussion last week, right? We talked about that, you know, well, the question of why, you know, why is this affecting the Black community so disproportionately? And there are many reasons for that. Obviously, underlying conditions, poverty, obviously, less access to care. So I guess I want to back up a little bit because I didn't ask you this at the top of the hour, but how did you originally get into art? Was there something that spurred you on when you were a youngster?
It is one of those things where if you talk to my mom or my dad or my grandparents, they just tell you I've just always been doing it. It's just I've always been drawing, playing with Legos and doing puzzles. That's what they tell you ever since I was a little kid. So for me, art is just a second nature type of activity. It's just an instant reflex for me. I've been an artist literally as long as I could imagine. I've been in art schools my whole life, you know. Yeah, that's the way I got started in it is just by being on the planet, just by being born.
So you were born like Bach or Beethoven with a pencil.
Hopefully my name can be that synonymous.
Very good. So why don't you tell us a little bit? Obviously, there's been quite a bit of controversy around you and this original piece. I don't know if everyone on the call today, or listening in, is aware of all of that. We don't have to get into all of it, but if you want to talk a little bit about the original piece, and then how your thoughts on that, and then where you went with transitioning into designing the second piece. You want to address that a little bit?
Yeah, so we did get a lot of backlash for the first piece, actually, and it was surprising and kind of jarring. But I think that I just thought about it, and me and my team, I met with my team, we talked about it, and we saw it as an opportunity to celebrate life more in a revision rather than how the first one came out. We saw it as an opportunity to take our time and create something truly unique and something truly special. You know, the original piece was created on maybe like a 6-day deadline. Mm-hmm. And it was just really hard to sort of put as much of my personal voice into the piece as I'd like. So when it came to revising the piece, we just sort of wanted to take that opportunity to do something truly undeniable, you know, and create something that felt magical and felt ethereal and had like some spirit inside of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for everyone who's listening in, Andre's the pieces that we're talking about are actually celebrations of Chadwick Boseman's life and his accomplishments. And as we're discussing, there was quite a bit of controversy over the first piece as it came out around the Oscars. and it's been redesigned by Andre. And I hope he's actually going to take some time to show us, hopefully, the second piece and more of his artwork tonight. So I want to talk a little bit about his passing and what that means for you and perhaps other Black artists. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're all sort of caught off guard by his passing. I think we all sort of checked our phones that day and we're kind of like just floored. Our jaw sort of just dropped. We had just seen Chadwick kind of be a superhero. I mean, literally a superhero. And you kind of felt like, or at least I did, I kind of felt like he was untouchable. You know, I didn't think that, you know, it was just one of those wake up call moments, you know. And, you know, we've had a conversation with our community like a week ago, me and Cindy, and I think that the feedback that we got from a lot of people is that was a wake up call too. And just hearing the numbers and just hearing the statistics and just hearing how close this disease can actually hit home and how close like it has hit home for even people that I know that I didn't know that it was even affecting them. I'm sorry, I'm kind of losing my own track here, but I'm just very grateful that we get to have this type of opportunity for this wake up call for a lot of people in our community and a lot of artists who I know, like full-time career artists, like they don't have things like nice healthcare, for instance, you know, because a lot of them are self-employed or whatever it may be. And it was just a wake up call for all of us.
Mm-hmm. That's a really interesting point, and something that is obviously a very big factor in sometimes why this disease goes undiagnosed until a very late stage is access to health insurance. We work, our foundation and others that are on this call or, you know, listening in, work, you know, directly with the underserved and underinsured, you know, population. So I know that's a very big deal. So, you know, one of my last questions before we, you know, I want to turn it over to you to share your screen and some of your work. I know you're very passionate about social justice. Do you want to talk a little bit about that in addition to, you know, what we've already talked about today and how that might translate into your pieces and where you're headed?
Yeah, so, well, we'll see where I'm headed artistically. I'm still figuring it out. But, you know, I'm from Minneapolis, as I said earlier. And if you guys are paying attention, you know that my city is up in arms right now. So I would just to speak on social justice, I just think that as a country, we're our hearts are open. We're a little vulnerable, but I think that approaching each other with empathy and accountability, authenticity, and intention are the recipes for healing. At least this is my perspective. In terms of how I share that in my pieces, I try to visualize an idealistic future, almost, you know, a future where it's very futuristic. It's very like cosmic. It's very, you know, halfway to sci-fi. When I say like futuristic and idealistic, it's, you know, floating orbs of energy. Like, okay, are we 7,000 years in the future in this piece? I don't know, maybe, but I just want to articulate a future that has these ideals, you know, that speaks of intention and authenticity and accountability. That's been a big word for me, just in my journey, just as an artist and like growing up, is learning accountability and what that means, you know. And my new word that I'm trying to focus on and trying to teach and trying to share in my work is discernment. and like judgment through high taste level.
That's very interesting. Do you guys in here that are in the session with us want to share your word that you're focused on? I think that'd be an interesting.
Yes. Yeah. Let's drop it in the chat.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. I think that'd be fun. I don't know how to work the poll. Otherwise, I would ask you guys to put it in a poll. But let's see it in the chat. I think that'd be fun. So I'll turn it over to you, Andre, to share your screen, and you could show us some of your art. And then I want to leave some time at the end for questions. So
okay.
I'll let you do
so that. I will pull up first things first, I'll pull up our revised piece.
Okay.
And let me just get to my screen. Okay. For here, this is our new piece. And if we look at this piece, we'll see the piece is called A Young Boy's Dream. You guys may be picking up some mic feedback. Is that better? Is that better? Can you hear me now?
That's better. Yep.
Okay, so we this piece is called A Young Boy's Dream, and it is showing just this little boy, and we created the spirit world from Black Panther, and he's just walking past these different altars of Chadwick's different accomplishments. You know, this microphone is symbolic of James Brown. The gavel is for his role as Thurgood Marshall. Jackie Robinson right here. This is just a shout out to his marriage and graduating from Howard, which was obviously a huge accomplishment. So that is this piece. This piece is actually just went on auction about an hour ago. It'll be on auction until the 16th. So Sunday at 4 p.m. That's when this piece will end. And for this piece, 50% of the proceeds will actually be donated to the Colon Cancer Foundation. So and then
I love it.
Just looking at some other pieces that I've had on auction. This is called Fifth Element. And this one is sort of what I mean by this idealistic future where there's just some sort of weird technology in the sky. And like I said, what year are we in? We don't know. Who are these people? Everything just seems so back to normal in terms of like nature and such. And this is my magical door and this mailbox. Both of those things make constant reappearances in my work. This piece is a piece I made for the holidays last month. And this is a piece, this is a still image from one of my pieces called GROW. This piece, the acronym is GROW. It stands for Give, Respect, Own, Win. And I made this with Grammy Award winning music producer Illmind. He actually produced, I think, 4 of the songs on Hamilton and some of the songs in Moana. He's a pretty cool guy. And we auctioned these off at the beginning of last month. This piece is called The Three Ghosts. I did a partnership with Netflix last month. They released a docuseries called This Is a Robbery. And it is about 13 stolen art pieces from a museum in Boston, and they commissioned me to reimagine one of the pieces. The original piece that I recreated was called The Three Jockeys by Damas, and it was a sketch. And yeah, this was my recreation. This is a piece, this is one half of a piece that I've made recently called Identity Crisis. This piece actually hasn't been auctioned. It's just one of my favorite pieces. This is the full piece of it. And you'll see here my, my mailbox has made another appearance. Oh, this is Oh, this is the nighttime version, the space version of the grow piece that I made with Illmind, because we released 2 pieces. This is the still. This is a later still shot of it. This is actually, there's actually 2 animations of this, and you can check that out on my Maker's Place. Let's see. This is another piece I made called Reflection. It was one of the first NFTs that I really sold, and this was this piece is all about me sort of letting go and just allowing myself to grow in this space and allowing myself to learn. And then I have 2 more pieces to show. This is called Wild Ridge Mountain Daytime. And you'll see here, this is my mailbox again. And we got my magic door. This is the daytime version. And I also made a nighttime version. This is this one right here. And for a long time, these were my 2 most popular pieces. This one was actually featured in Vogue, so that's pretty cool. And I think those are all the pieces I have on display right now.
That's very cool. So I want, before I forget, you to just share with everyone where they can learn more about you online and where they can find these pieces if they're interested.
Yeah, so these pieces, well, the piece for auction in particular will be on my Maker's Place. Is there a way that I can leave a link in the chat?
Yeah, I think.
Yes.
Awesome. So I'll drop a link to that in the chat right now, actually. I'm sorry, the website has an autoplay feature. So when I get the link, it'll play the music right away.
And then we have a couple minutes. So if anyone has any questions for Andre, I'd love to take those. And if there's anything else that you want to share with everyone before we move, we're actually going to move from here right over to our open networking hour, where I hope Andre will stay with us before he has to go to another Clubhouse event.
We got a busy day still ahead of us.
Yep. Andre and I will be over on Clubhouse later. So look for us over there if you're on Clubhouse. I think it's 6 or 7. I can't remember.
7. This one starts at 7.
7. I love Clubhouse. I did it for the first time. It was quite a fun thing. So any questions for Andre or anything that you want to share with the group before we head over to networking? Any questions? I'm still learning how to use Q&A here.
Oh, okay. That's where it is right there. Okay, add a question.
Q&A and chat. Let's see. Let's look. Question. Dustin, thoughtful way to honor Chadwick Boseman. Great fundraising idea too. We agree with you, Dustin. Yeah, thank you. We got some comments on words that people are working on. Perspective.
Yes.
By Robin Dubin. And
that's actually key in a lot of my work when I try to switch and make different variations of night and day or different angles. When I offer an A side or a B side, I'm trying to help offer different perspectives and show different perspectives of the same stories.
And Michelle Chapman, gratitude.
Yeah, that's been a word of mine lately. Ever since I've been getting in the NFT space, I've been very grateful.
I think that's a good word to end on. Gratitude. Very grateful for you, Andre, for the work you're doing, for you being here tonight, for the piece that you've offered for us, for everyone who's joined us here in this event online today for the first day of the summit. As I mentioned, we have open networking where you can join us for the next half hour hour. And Andre, I hope you join us over there. So we're going to.
Yeah, I may be able to stop in for a little bit. I have a call around 5:45. So.
Okay. So everyone, I will see you over in the networking session in just a couple minutes. Andre, it was such a pleasure. I'll see you.
Yes.
Later in Clubhouse.
Later tonight. All right. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.